In this video, we're going to talk about how to start a videography business or a production company, or even maybe a marketing firm. It's all kind of tied together. But this is for beginners. If you're just getting started and you just don't know what direction, maybe you're already a videographer, or maybe you're a freelance videographer, or maybe you're just using videography to make your own content. You've clicked on the right video. So let's get into it. So if you are a videographer already, right, you're making videos, you know how to operate the camera, your videos look pretty good. Maybe you're making a little bit of money and not as much money as you want, and maybe it's a side hustle, but you see the potential, right? So how I would structure my videography business if today was ground zero and I had to start all over again, this is what I would do. Number one is get good at videography. Once you've done that, right, like once you've watched all the videos on like how to make sure your frame rate's right, your ISO's right, you know, how to do 60 frame shots, like color grading. Once your product looks really good and you feel like you could take it to market, the next step is getting customers. There's a lot of people that are like, how to get videographer customers, and there's a lot of masterminds and there's guys selling like, this is your exact system on how you can run a marketing campaign to get customers, and all those things work, right? But maybe you're not in a position to hire a coach or a consultant or pay their monthly subscription fee, because not only do you have to pay their like mentorship program fee, you also have to now spend ad spend money, and so maybe you don't have that. So, but you do need customers, right? That's the first thing you need to solve. So, and when you're a freelancer, like maybe it's not predictable, and that's a great place to start. But let's say you don't even have freelance work, right? And you want to get started on freelance work. What you have to do is get someone to buy your video. And so what I used to do when I was first starting out, I know this might sound counterintuitive to what a lot of people say, but you need to do videos for free. Not just for free. This is the exact like script I use, right? Like when you are reaching out to prospects or like people you want to work with, or you know, whatever niche or market you want to produce videos for, is, hey, can I do a free video for you in exchange for a referral? 90% of the time, the referral will be them. It takes that edge off the hard ask. Like, hey, can I do a free video for you? And then I want you to be my customer. If you just ask for referrals, to them, it's like, oh, dude, yeah, I could totally give you a referral if you do a free video for me. Like, heck yeah, I'll get somebody to buy your stuff. But if you just provide such a great experience from them, a lot of the times those turn into customers. So if you do that, right, like 10 times a day, I'm old school, right? Like 35, like the new generation, maybe I'm an unk, but like I really learned a lot of value from door-to-door sales before I like came into my videography career. I was doing videography prior, but I learned a ton from door-to-door sales. So like if you go and physically door knock, right, like businesses, here's the hard truth maybe you don't know, is businesses are the ones who have money. Like doing music videos or doing car videos or doing like cool club hype videos, like maybe they look cool, maybe it gives you a cool image, but a lot of time those guys don't have a lot of money. Like the people who have money are businesses. And so I learned that early on. Is I did music videos for a little bit, like as I was learning my craft, but I immediately transitioned out of that and started doing businesses within the first year. And maybe I don't have the coolest videography company or the coolest production company, but I tell you, we make a lot more money than a lot of the cool guys, I promise. So do businesses, door to door, business to business, meet the manager, meet the barrier of entry, and offer them a free video in exchange for a referral. I guarantee you it'll work. If you do that 10 times a day, every single day, you will be slammed. Like you will be so busy with edits and videos and all of these things that you need to do. But what will happen next is you'll start to have customers, and you'll be slammed with customers. And honestly, like if you want to you could easily, without a doubt, make 6 figures a year with a video business. Easy. Like it should be base minimum 100 grand a year that you could do with a videography business. Here's the catch. Here's why people don't do it though, right? It's like they don't overcome the fear of asking for business. They don't develop their skills of providing value to the businesses. They don't do these things that are hard, right? Like those things are hard to do. And so if you don't do them, then yeah, you'll never really turn it into a profession. But if you do these things, what's going to happen is you're going to start getting slammed. You're going to be slammed. And when you're slammed with edits, video shoots, productions, like that is a good place to be, because you start getting in the flow of working at that volume. Because then what happens once you get through that free pipeline of like all those videos and all the shoots is they start becoming paid clients. Now you need to figure out how to keep up with doing all those paid videos. Like you need to still give them great customer service, like when you were hungry. You need to still provide the video in a timely manner. Like one thing that always separated us is like we try to give people back their video as soon as possible. Like I try to get it back to them. If I could get it done within the hour, like just knock it out, give them the edit back and blow them away, like that's insane. Next day delivery is also insane. Like that was always my standard at Pathfinder. Like next day video, here it is. Or as soon as how I treated a video gig, right? Like people would treat a video gig like they film it and then they'd get to the edit when they get to me. The job wasn't done until the edit was done. So I would treat it like homework. Like I would go to school, film the video, and then the very next thing on my agenda was doing the edit so I could get it out of the way. And people people love that. Nobody did that, and that set us apart for a long time. So once you get into that workflow of being super busy, like you're gonna have paid gigs back to back, and now you're like filming, editing, you can sustain that. Like I did that for like a couple years, honestly. Like you could keep that going for a while. Eventually you get burnt out and you're like, okay, there's got to be a better. Once you do that, like that's a mandatory 100 to 150 grand a year. You could do that for sure. Next thing you're gonna need to do, like how I built my organization, is the very next step that I did was I hired an editor. And so I was just filming and dumping footage, and what happened is I was able to double up my volume, my capacity of shoots that I was able to do, because I didn't have like that other half of the time of editing. So then I started doing more shoots. I was able to take on more shoots and more clients. And then a profound thing happened, but when it happened for me is I started figuring out how to sell subscriptions. Like instead of just doing video to video to video, I was selling monthly subscriptions to clients. I was like, hey, you're gonna pay me whatever, 500, 750, 1,000 for a video, but it's not gonna get your like goal across, like whatever you're trying to build, right? Everyone, when you do videos for people, you're helping them build their dream, their mission, their whatever they're trying to do. It's like, hey, this one $500 video, this was pre-inflation, right? This was like 2014, 15. This one $500 video is not going to get you what you're trying to build. So then I started saying like, why don't you pay $2,000? I remember actually my very first deal was like $250 monthly subscription, but we sell the same thing now for like 10 grand. So you're only going to be able to sell like whatever your belief level is at. So someone watching this might be able to sell right out the gate like $5,000 packages. And it's a different time now. So like 5,000 isn't as much as it used to be in those days. Someone out the gate might be comfortable selling $20,000 monthly packages or $15,000 monthly, whatever it is, right? Like two things need to happen. You need to have that level of belief that you could deliver service at that level. And number two is you need to be in alignment with consumers that will pay that much money. So, but maybe your belief level's at like $1,500 or $2,500 a month. They're like, most people make like $5,000 a month, right? So like maybe you sell 2 accounts at $2,500 and you're like stoked. Maybe start wherever you're at. Maybe your belief system allows you to sell a $1,500 video. So being like, hey, instead of paying $500 for this one video, why don't you pay $1,500 and I'll give you, don't say unlimited, but like I could give you 5 videos or like 10 videos, or like I'll come and shoot with you once a month and like as much videos, or once a week and as many videos as we could get. Then that evolved to like we sold a content plan, which is like 30 pieces of content, which is like content every day. And that's kind of like how we sell it now. And it's like however many times you want to post a day. But then I started selling subscriptions, and what started happening was like, whoa, I'd have $2,500 subscriptions and I'd have like 4 of them, and like 5 and 6 and 10 and like 15, not 25. It like started going up because like then I was busy and my time was leveraged. And so then I'd hired a second editor, and then I hired a second videographer, and it was me and a second videographer just running. And then I hired a second videographer and it was just them running. And like then I had like 4 editors, and I basically kept building that. And then I had a social media manager, and then I had a graphic designer, and then I had a media buyer. And so I just kept adding pieces to the puzzle as I sold. So in the beginning I would sell a $2,500 package, and I got a few of those. Then I started selling like $3,000 packages. Then I started selling $3,800 packages. Then I started selling $5,000, and then I started selling $6,500 packages. Then I started selling $7,500 packages. Then I started selling $10,000 packages, right? And this was over a course of like 2 or 3 years. So I had to like inch my way up through the belief. But not only that, is like when you're selling somebody a $10,000 package, they have like expectations of a process, of a system, of a way of doing things. And I had to develop those things. So I had to, first it started with hiring editors. That was my first thing. Then I started hiring videographers. Then I started adding social media managers. Then I added graphic design. And then it was creating like a process and a schedule of having everything flow smoothly. And that like in turn turned into like a $1.5 million business. But maybe you're not there yet, right? Like maybe that's not the place that you're at, but just start where you can. And the first problem we need to solve is getting customers. So if you're starting a videography business, the first thing you need to do is get good at videographer. And the second thing you need to do is get customers. And so there's a great book by Alex Hormozi called $100 Million Leads, $100 Million Offers. But I just gave you the offer. Like the offer is I will do a free video for you in exchange for a referral. That is a no-brainer offer people would feel stupid saying no to. And so when you get those and you do the video, like hold them accountable for the referral. Like, hey, who do you know that you could refer me to? And when they refer you to it, then, you know, do your best to sell them. That's a whole other video. We could do how to do sales for videographers, actually. But that's how you get started. And that's the basics fundamental. And you're going to learn more by doing. So like you could watch 100 of these videos, but you're going to learn more by the actual practice of doing. So if you have any questions and I could help in any way, just drop a comment. I don't sell coaching for videographers or anything like that. I just want to give back to the videography community, because at the core, like, I own 3 podcast studio businesses and a marketing firm. And at the core, I still see myself as a videographer. Like, that's why the production value at the studios is so great. I just think that that's my core competence and skill, and I want to help you guys. So if I can help in any way, just leave a comment, and I'll be sure to get back to you guys. So like always, appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.